Hi, Pastor Jeremy here again with another installment of midweek encouragement that I hope is meaningful to you. And it's one small way that I can try to continue to connect with you as we go through this time of staying in place and things not being reopened yet here in Minnesota. If you've watched or listened to any of the midweek encouragements leading up to this, you know that I've been using the Lord's Prayer as a guide. We find that model prayer from Jesus in Matthew chapter 6. Matthew chapter 6, verses 9 through 13. And we've been kind of stair-stepping our way through line by line, verse by verse, just looking at what Jesus felt was important when he was teaching his followers how they could approach their Heavenly Father in prayer. I hope that you're able to find some time in your life to spend some minutes in quiet, maybe separated from the other stuff going on in your home and in your life, just in prayer and in meditation, some time to read the Word, to listen to what God has for you. Let me read so far what we've gone over. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. Today, I just want to spend a few minutes looking at verse 12 there. Forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. Maybe the translation that you learned growing up is said, forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. But I'm reading out of the English Standard Version. I know the Old King James uses this language of debts. Now, I know our mind immediately goes to financial debts, financial obligations that we owe, and that's not quite the context here. Jesus is referring to our spiritual and our social transactions that maybe don't fully glorify God or follow his law. Another word that we use is sins, things that we do against God, his heart, and his law for us as we live in this world and in relationship with him and fellow man. So Jesus is saying that we may ask for God, our Heavenly Father, to forgive our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. Jesus is putting into words here a beautiful picture of the two directions of our spiritual relationship, and many people have described it this way and used it as a teaching tool, that our soul, our spiritual relationship has a vertical component, us connected with God, our Creator, and it has a horizontal component of reaching out to our neighbor, those that we live with, the social element of the people around us. We live in community and communion with God. We live in community and communion with people around us. Some of you right now in this stay-at-home order that we're living under, you're kind of stuck with who you are living with right now. It's not changing very much day to day. I just want to take a quick moment to look at the upward element and the outward element that Jesus says here. It says, forgive us our debts. That's an open and honest way of acknowledging that we need God, that left to myself, I can't do any good that is credited to me as righteousness in God's eyes. I need him. I fall short of his glory. I'm not able to live in his favor without his grace and his mercy, which comes through Jesus Christ. And Jesus knew that he would be the perfect answer to provide that. But we have to humbly submit ourselves and say, God, I need you. I don't always do the right thing. I don't serve you perfectly. I make mistakes. Sometimes I choose to do the wrong things. I'm not always the most loving person to be around or in my actions towards other people. God, I need you. And so that first part there, forgive us our debts, is a crying out to God and saying, it's by you and you alone, your grace for this world, your provision through Jesus Christ that makes that vertical relationship possible and healthy. But then Jesus moves on because it's directly connected to our relationship with people. They're not separate. They're not independent. They're integral and connected together. He says, as we also have forgiven our debtors. It's important that I recognize my part in having good, healthy relationships with other people. We're in a culture that likes to place blame and point a finger that everyone else causes the problems, but we have to recognize our role in every relationship that we play. And you know what? Sometimes I didn't do something to offend someone else or to hurt someone else. Sometimes it just happens. Mistakes happen, misunderstandings happen, differences of opinion happen. Sometimes we're tired and we do something that we, again, don't intend to do, or we regret later. And as far as it depends on me, as far as it depends on you, are you living at peace with those around us? In other words, my attitude and my actions in every relationship should be ones that help edify, to build up, to show God's light and love to the other people in my life. And you know what? I can't be responsible for their actions or reactions, but I can be responsible because I'm in right relationship with God. He fills me with His love, His grace, His mercy, His truth to live in right relationship with other people as far as it depends on me and you. The challenge here is that we don't keep a list or a ledger book if we think of that financial debt. In 1 Corinthians 13, the chapter about love, the Good News Bible says that love keeps no records of wrongs. Boy, that might be hard, but I want to challenge you that if there's a list of wrongs that you're keeping against someone, that ultimately is going to affect your spiritual relationship with your Heavenly Father. Here's the challenge for you. In this time of staying in place, being at home, not a lot of mobility going out and about, maybe you find yourself, in a sense, stuck with someone in your household that maybe you don't get along with very well. And my challenge for you and for me is for God's love and His peace to live in you, for you to show His love and His light, and for you to not hold any wrongs against that person. Maybe it's not someone in your household, and maybe in this time of a little extra time on your hand, God is bringing to your mind reaching out to someone who could use some extra encouragement, someone who maybe you need to ask forgiveness from or extend forgiveness to, whether that's an email or a text or a phone call. I encourage, a phone call, that voice interaction, and to repair those relationships. Jesus models it here in His prayer for us. It's His will for us. We can approach the Father, and with His love and His power, we can go to others and say, I want to have a good relationship with you. I don't want there to be anything broken here. I want God's love for you, God's peace on you. It might be amazing if you accept that challenge and take a step of faith in His Spirit. It might be amazing to see what God would do through you. I hope you are well. Again, we just want to encourage you, if there's any way we can help you, reach out to us here at Christ Life Church, and we want to pray for you. We want to help if we can. God bless you.